It's Lithuanian Dream Podcast. Each week, we share ideas from contemporary Lithuania. Welcome to our 15th episode. We are releasing it just before one of the most important events for Lithuanian diaspora, Global Lithuanian Leaders Forum and Awards Ceremony that will take place in Vilnius. I used this chance to invite the co-founder of GLL to our show. Dalia Petkevičienė has more than 10 years experience of working with Lithuanian professionals around the globe. She has created and co-implemented diaspora talent strategy for trade and invest promotion for Lithuania and Latvian governments and businesses. Currently, she's a founding partner at Tribe Global Leaders search that links Lithuanian and Baltic companies with global leaders, supervisory board level and C-level executives. Today, we will talk about her experience of building one of the most exciting Lithuanian organizations, Global Lithuanian Leaders. Hello, Dalia. Thank you for joining us today. Could you tell us more? Why and how did you create GLL Network?
My personal story of getting passionate about global Lithuanians engaged for the successful homeland goes actually back to 2009, when I was a 26-year-old working with the International Chambers of Commerce in Lithuania. And I came up with this idea of Lithuanian Davos for global people with Lithuanian origin coming back to Vilnius. And I came to my boss and told him that. And then we looked at this idea, and it seemed not that new anymore, because we found out that back in 1993, the first World Lithuanian Economic Forum was happening those days. And then we decided that let's recreate it. So we did it. And we did it quite successfully. The president was engaged, the government was engaged. We had people from all over the world flying back to Lithuania and gathering all the top achievers, the top leaders of international companies, the business owners. They were sitting together, and in 2009, just after the economic crisis, they were discussing what are the possible ways for Lithuania as a country out of this economic crisis. I met all those great people, all those influential, great minds that I admired. And many of them are now actually the patrons of Global Lithuanian Leaders, the network that actually appeared as a result of these annual forums. I made several of them, and then I met Mykolas Lepeška and some of the other global Lithuanians from other countries. They had an idea, let's do the organization out of these forums. And then we thought together and we sat together and we started. We started as a startup with no money, just a good idea. I started fundraising money. Mykolas and Tadas Langaitis and others started fundraising money. They gave credit for the organization to start its first steps. And we started. And it was not easy to explain to the government, to businesses in 2009 what it means, the global leadership, what it means, a professional. Those terms were still new. And even leader as a word seemed a little bit arrogant, a little bit out of the blue, and not many people were convinced. But step by step, by showing the examples, by showing success cases of global Lithuanians coming back and helping the students, help via mentoring, helping the companies via business consultations, coming into the seminars as speakers, coming back as lecturers at universities, as advisors for the government. Those many examples showed how much those global minds could influence local environment, how much knowledge and how much potential are around these people, how many connections they have that could be useful for businesses and local businesses in Lithuania to get global, for government to find partnerships in all over the world.
It's incredible that Global Lithuanian Leaders grew from a conference to such a big network. And now, after 10 years, there are a lot of programs, including professional clubs that I belong here in Berlin as well. So, what keeps you moving? Why do you feel so close to the idea of Global Lithuanians?
Well, first and foremost, I am a believer of people network. I am personally much fond of networking. As a sport, I would say. I like meeting people. I like connecting people. And for me, it's my personal. For Lithuania, I think it's very important, especially being a small country, to be much connected country. And I believe those people who are living abroad, who are migrating, who are leaving and coming back can do a lot for the country of their origin and can bring a lot of international connections and knowledge and capital. This is where I see the immigration as a process as not a negative one only, but also an opportunity for our country.
So this year, Global Lithuanian Leaders is celebrating 10 years anniversary. I bet, like any other non-governmental organization or business, it went through several stages. Could you tell us more about those?
So while celebrating this 10 years anniversary and looking back to those 10 years of existing, we can really see that GLL went through many stages. The first stage, I would say, was the recognition stage, where we had to actually support ourselves from the idea to organization. We had to think about the programs that would be relevant for our members and for our clients, companies or young people that are receiving mentorship from our members. We thought of the programs such as business advisors, from the beginning, a business mentoring program for growing businesses in Lithuania to get global. We made partnership with LT Big Brother, which is still expanding, which is a program for mentoring, for youth mentoring, where global Lithuanians are giving their advice for young people to get their global careers or be successful back in Lithuania. We also started the Global Lithuanian Awards, which were patronized by our president from the very beginning. It was not easy to convince, but we did it. We're very happy that it's still going on, these core programs and these core events. And there are so many new development steps that has been made in the last 5 years of the organization, such as youth programs for getting internships, Talentai Lietuvai, such as the growth of Global Lithuanian Award. Last year, there were 600 people gathering back in Vilnius in December for these awards. So really, the organization is growing and the membership is growing and scaling. We started with members in several countries, and now we have members in 45 countries all over the world. So it's definitely the great growth stage that has been going on.
So, what's the vision for the next decade of Global Lithuanian Leaders?
At the moment, I think we are at the stage where we look attentively and intensively into the needs of the members of Global Lithuanian Leaders. And we are asking them, how could we bring in more value to you? How could we bring more value to our partner club organizations in different countries? There are 26 Lithuanian professional clubs all over the world. We also are asking our clients, companies, organizations, universities, how could you benefit more from our members, Global Lithuanian Leaders? And some of the answers gives us ideas for new initiatives, such as the one that I am leading now, the Referral and Search Center at GLL, where we are looking for C-level executives and board members to work in the Lithuanian capital companies or international companies in Lithuania, or the companies brought by the Global Lithuanian Leaders wherever they are in the world. I mean, helping the people of Lithuanian origin and diaspora people to actually work for Lithuania or Lithuanians in the executive positions. So these are the examples, but talking about the next 10 years of Global Lithuanian Leaders, my main word to describe the hope for those 10 years is scale. I would really like to see that most successful programs of ours that has been going on for years already in Lithuania and all over the world could be scaled, that we could have business advisors helping more Lithuanian companies that are in need for global expansion, that we could have more mentorship for youth, that we could really have a measurable impact, and that we could really say the numbers of export growth, the numbers of achievements of our mentees, and that we can really measure the results of our organization in big numbers.
Dalia, thank you for sharing your story with our listeners. It is really inspiring to see how much you achieved within 10 years. I'm sure that Global Lithuanian Leaders will grow and bring so many more different initiatives to Lithuania. For now, thank you. And let's see each other on 27th of December at Global Lithuanian Leaders Forum and Awards in Vilnius. Guys, thank you for joining us today, and see you next week, just before Christmas. It's Lithuanian Dream Podcast. Each week, we share ideas from contemporary Lithuania.